Let's go, baby.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made.
Drag your nuts, baby. Breakers Road, Grand Slam exclusive, son. Drag them. Let's go. 101, baby. Let's go.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
Tillman Tap and the Nighthawk Knock. Come, let's go, baby. What up, baby? Let's go. What is up, Grand Slam Nation, son? Bringing the thunder tonight, aren't we, Joe?
Hell yeah.
What up, baby? Hope everybody's doing good, man. I really do. I was going to do a couple things today. One, I was going to talk to you guys about the 40,000th order. I'm blown away by that. I was looking at it a little while ago, and we're about ready to hit it, and I was like, holy shit. Look how far we've come. So that led into me looking at our pictures. I was going through, we have like 4,000 pictures from this joint, and it brought back a lot of memories and how we got to where we are now. And where we are now isn't any big deal to most people, but it's important to me. It's a big deal to me. So I thought I would share that with you guys. And sometimes when people do that, they put themselves out there. Obviously, you have the people out there that'll make fun or ridicule or whatever. And that's one thing I've learned in the last year or so is you do it anyway. If you feel like it's going to help someone else, even your embarrassment or whatever, I think it's cool to have enough guts to tell people your story, so maybe it'll help them. I see so many successful people, or what I believe is success, and that doesn't come with money, but I feel like they're successful and they don't want to share with anybody else. They don't want to tell their story. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they let the shadow riders get to them and they don't want to open up wounds and tell how they got to where they got. So maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're a pussy, or maybe they're selfish. So I'm neither one. So I will tell you, how we got to where we're at. And it has nothing to do with sports cards. It has to do with chasing down something that, is seared in your heart. And even though you fail the first time, you use that as fuel and motivation. So I'll go over that. I don't have anything written or anything. I'll do the best I can. Hopefully it'll be about 10 minutes. I don't want to do a real long one, but I'm going to tell you guys, there's a lot of people out there that need this. So, okay, we'll do it. Although I don't like doing it. It definitely makes me nervous. But anyway, it is what it is. Fuck it. 40,000th order. I'm blown away by that. I really am. It's really cool. But I feel like the Michael Jordan rookie is literally the foundation this sucker was built on, besides Tim. The Michael Jordan rookie is really what defines all of us anyway. It's our age group. It's the most iconic card. So we've given away an 8 before, so I thought, hey, let's give an 8.5 away. The rules will be the same as the last time with the 8. It'll have to be $39.95 or more. If it's not, it goes to the next order. Whoever's 40,000, as long as they're not a shadow riding hack, they get the Jordan. We have the right to give our card away to whoever we choose, as always. But here it is, BGS Jordan 8.5. We're giving it away. I know sometimes people are like, why the hell are they giving these things away? Hey, man, the more you give, the more you get. And that was something else I was thinking about today. I was about ready to pour out bourbon, and I was like, I don't even fucking like bourbon. Drink what you want to drink. I like Diet Dew. The reason, contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't even like bourbon. I just drank it because somebody suggested it one night. It was like, hey, man, that'd be hilarious. And here we are. So tonight when I'm telling you my story, our story, I'll drink whatever the fuck I want to drink. So to the nation, our little Champions Cup, because you guys are freaking savage. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Anyway, I was kind of thinking about some of this. Let's see, it's 7:14. I want to go about 10 minutes. So hope this helps somebody. To start is the crappy part. Like 15 years ago, I opened a little office on our court square, and my goal was to buy and sell on eBay whatever it was, Titans tickets, sports cards, whatever it took. I had 2 little showcases, and I had a desk with my big ass computer. And Omar went to the bank, and he owned motels. He still owns a couple, but he literally put one of his stock certificates as collateral for me to take this money and start my business. I'd been in school, was like a junior, was making decent grades, 2.5-ish type shit, nothing special. I was getting through it, but I hated it. It wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. Sports cards is what I wanted to do with my life. So my father listened to what I had to say. Not only that, he put his money where his mouth was. And when you have family like that, it's a lot easier to succeed. So if you're having a rough time and you don't have family like that, I get it. I definitely had a leg up. But what happened was I did that for like 2-3 years. And I was making money, but I wasn't making enough money. It was a real grind, and it was a real hassle. I was young. I was immature. I didn't really have it all together yet. But, we were pregnant with twins. So it was time for the rubber to meet the road. So I just made a decision at that time, hey, I've got to find a job that I make more money. I just have to. I can do this on the side. So, go from thinking that you're living what you want to do with your life. I literally go sell cars, like automobiles, Chevrolets here in Murfreesboro. Worked my ass off. They used to make us wear dress shirts in the freaking summer. I would work that car lot so much that my sleeves would be black from the sweat running around there trying to make a living, but I did it. And I did it for 1.5 years, and it seemed I used to keep a list of everybody who came and went, and it was like over 100 in 1.5 years. It was insane. If you can sell cars, you can sell anything. Don't ever let anybody tell you different either. So I did that for 1.5 years. Absolute torture. Hated it. Made way better money than I was doing in sports cards. Got into real estate because I knew like the boys were premature. So I knew that we needed a lot of money for what was called albuterol. She was self-employed. I didn't have insurance through Alexander Chevrolet. So we had to pay it was between daycare and the albuterol, was like $600 a week just for those 2 items. So I had to sell a lot of something. So I got into real estate, took off like a rocket, sold 30 plus houses for several years, but never what I liked, never was happy. I did the best I could. I tried to represent my client's best interests, yada, yada, yada. But always had this gnawing at me because I felt like I had let my father down that believed in me, and I felt like I knew what I was supposed to do with my life, but failure paralyzed me. There was plenty of times when I could have broke free from that and taken my shot. But I was afraid. That failure really paralyzed me. I was embarrassed. I think if you're a competitor and you feel like you failed at something, the mistake I made personally was I didn't want to take another shot. I can remember when I did open the store 3 years ago, whatever it was, 2.5, 3 years ago. I remember telling myself, this is my last shot, which isn't true. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like, this is it. I have no choice. Burn the fucking boats, and that's what I thought. Looking back, that's not true. You can fail 100 fucking times. If you have the guts, I didn't. It took me 15 years to take another crack at it. And then when I finally did, it was different this time. There was no loan. It was everything I'd built in that 15 years through hustling sports cards. Me and Robbie used to hustle sports cards. We would travel all over, man. We bought card shops, so it's important to have a supporting cat, whatever it is you want to do. I don't give a shit if it's open a card shop. I don't care if it's a bakery, a lawn mowing service. Like Robbie was a big part of that. Robbie has never missed a trade night ever. Only friend that I can say that is him. Me and him, we worked and we built doing that while I was still selling real estate. So with that said, I was able to build up enough, or I thought was enough, and I started asking on websites, hey, like PSA message boards, blowout message boards, all these things like, hey, do you think I can do it with X amount of money? No, you're an idiot. It's going to take $100,000. It's going to take $50,000. So then again, I'm still trying to figure out what should we do? What should we do? Literally, my family was like, yo, this has been gnawing at you. You've got to do it. We have to know. So we did it. We built out the old store, which was at the time, looking back, it was kind of a heap, but it was my heap, and it meant the world to me. When I see the pictures of the first day, it brings back a lot of memories because I was so proud. I had no idea if we were going to make it, but I knew I was mature this go around, and I knew I was ready to put up a fight, and I wasn't going to go quietly. But when you look at those pictures, if you go back and look at those pictures, guys, I had nothing. I mean, the boxes were so far away. If one had the flu, the other one wouldn't get it. The walls, there was an echo when you came in at first because there were nothing on the walls. We had $4,300 in the bank account the day we opened, and I was not going to get a loan. I made up my mind. It took me forever to pay that one back. I wasn't doing it. So it was now. You have to go now. But I think that's what pushed me, was knowing there was no turning back. You had to do it now. And then Tim came along, without a shadow of a doubt. My buddy Tim, rest in peace. If it wasn't for Tim, I don't think we'd all be here. Between my family, Robbie, and Tim, that was the recipe that helped my balls drop enough that I was like, hey man, I'm going to try this. So we did. Man, the first weekend, I remember I had a lot of help from friends, and that first weekend we had like 158 people come through that little store. All my friends and family showed up. My brother showed up. My brother doesn't collect cards anymore. He came in and bought stuff. My in-laws came in. I mean, guys I grew up with. And I knew then, after that weekend, I was like, man, we have a legitimate shot. And, of course, that doesn't last because that's your opening weekend and you've built that up. There were times there early on where, like, Gary worked. There was one day where Gary sold $1.10, and I remember thinking, oh, fuck. But we were off and running, and we built it through hard work. If you look at that picture, you'll see the floors. And that's my favorite picture is a lot of people look at that picture and they're like, ooh, gross. Look at those floors. But those floors, that was concrete floors. We painted them brown when we moved in, and there's really not much you can do about it. But that's all of Joe, Rookie, Austin, all of our customers coming through there over and over and over. All the hard work when the online took off, where we just worked our ass off. We worked so hard, my hips hurt night after night. These trade nights, I mean, we'd be on our feet. It was a big grind, but it wasn't work. It's still not work to me. I'm right here talking about sports cards, and it's not work to me. But the key, if you're thinking about opening a store, was our local customers. Our local customers are what gave us an opportunity to become Grand Slam Nation later on. They supported us. They came to trade nights. They spent their hard-earned money. We essentially had Grand Slam Nation, but it was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That was it. When we went live, I had so many customers that would ask me to go live and do group breaks, and I just wasn't interested in group breaks. Creature of habit. I don't like change. But that was the turning point when we started recording people's videos, and our locals started buying into group breaks for us and helping us out, and it just started to grow. And you could see it. It was bubbling. I was by myself. And by then I knew, I was like, man, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. I would work. The reason the shows are 2 days apart is because it would take me 2 days literally day and night until 1 or 2 in the morning to pack up all the stuff, get it shipped out. As soon as I got done with the last package, I went live again. And that's why it became 2 days later on, because that's all I could do by myself. Then when Joe and Philip came along, it was a wrap, because there's such, I mean, Joe is the real deal. So if you're going to ride with somebody, if you're going to do something big, whatever it is, you've got to find your right-hand man, somebody you can count on. You have to find that also has as much passion for the business as you do. And Joe does that. That's, a blessing to have someone like that. He's one of the main reasons we've been able to really go. So this isn't, some of this is just stone cold luck. I'm aware of that. But with that said, you get Joe, you get rolling. We're on live one night, and it's like, we're like 70 people on, and we're like, holy shit. Like, if you go back and look at some of our videos, like the first Flawless Box I ever broke, there were 19 people on the show, and I was like, damn, man, you're killing it. Somebody's told me the story. I've never watched it, but that's what they told me. I'm like, man, that is crazy, 19 people. Well, one night, this is a perfect example of how your haters, your detractors, your doubters can actually make you. You can let that shit eat you up, or you can use it as fuel. And one night we're on, and we're all of us local people and our 10 or 20 out of towners are on, and these couch people just attack our fucking live feed. And I was just like, hell no, they're not gonna take our feed. So we were just buzzing them, lighting them up. And dude, it went from 70 people to 80 people to 100 people. I was thinking, what the fuck is going on? But anyway, some of those people actually became our customers, if that tells you anything. So what I'm trying to get at is a lot of this was luck, but a lot of this wasn't. It was, I think the failure and the get-go, which a lot of people don't like talking about that. Hell, I don't like talking about it. A lot of people never take that next shot. There's, I think, Lincoln lost like 8 elections before he became president. Fucking 8. I wouldn't have the courage to do that, man. I'm no Abe Lincoln, but I am Nate motherfucking Burns, and I own Grand Slam Collectibles, and I will take 2 motherfucking shots at it. And that's what happened as far as that goes. And then from that moment on, nothing else really matters. If we close next month, we made it. For this last year and a half, people would come into our store, and it always bothered me. They would come into our store when we first opened, and they'd be like, how do you make a living selling sports cards? You can't make a living doing that. They would come into your own store and tell you can't. And I don't know if it bothered me because I thought they might be right, or if it insulted me that they were trying to piss on somebody's dream. I think if you want to succeed in life, when you hear somebody put themselves out there and tell you what they want to do with their life or what they want to do, in their hobbies, if you're pissing on it, that's probably why you ain't doing shit. You foster it. You flame that fire. You don't put it out. And coming into I would never go into some store that I thought was subpar and try to insult them, make them, feel bad. But, this last year and a half, nobody comes in this motherfucking store and asks us that. They have to be fucking retarded or mentally challenged, if that's politically correct, because I don't want to insult anybody at all. So we don't, my point is that you guys gave me that, for a year and a half. Nobody looks down on us. Nobody's worried about how our store is going to make it. So no matter what happens going forward, we made it. I can go sell real estate. I can go sell cars. The bottom line, we're not going anywhere. If you think, I tell you where we're going, to the fucking top. Wait and see. Try us. We're going to the top, man. That's what I'll tell you that now. But that's essentially it. It actually was 15 minutes. Everybody who watched, everybody who's been a part of this, there's no greater feeling for me that I let my family down, I let my dad down, and then come back and prove them right. So I appreciate it. Always be dragging. 10 million, of course. We'll get 10 million. So that's why I'm so appreciative to you guys. I know a lot of people wonder why I'm so appreciative. That's why. Money can't buy that. We came back. Always be dragging, boys. Don't ever fucking give up. Don't give in. If you've got something to do, go fucking do it. Don't listen to anybody. Deuces. Let's go, baby.